All right, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new, make sure you subscribe and leave a thumbs up. You can also follow me on Twitter at SuperHiveDC. I'm also on Vero under SuperHive, and don't forget to check the links in the description of this video. We have, merch links in there. If you're interested in my merch, you can check it out. I should be adding some more designs soon. But head over there. There's masks, shirts, stickers, coffee mugs. Get over there. I do appreciate that support. And shout out to anyone who has checked out the merch so far. I do have some guests I'm going to pull in just a moment. Of course, there's a lot of, Ray Fisher hot topics for us to discuss. So we're definitely going to get into that. But first, let me bring in my guests. I have the 4 nerds with me. So let's go ahead and bring them in. We got Anthony.
Hey, what's good? Let's go.
What's up, Anthony? We got Dawson.
Yeah, what's up, guys?
What's up, Dawson?
Heidi ho!
Ryan. I'm the only one. I don't have a 4 nerd shirt, but hey, they're the 4 nerds anyway. I'm not one of the 4 nerds, so hey.
No, we're good. We're good. I think that's the panel.
Okay,
let's
here.
All right,
no more.
Ray Fisher, right? So what are we talking? What do we think? Oh, look, there's a hand that came out of nowhere.
He got a call.
What's up? Let's see who we
Oh, the hand is back. It's back. It's gonna get him.
Don't feel bad.
Okay, so like right when you started the countdown, my wife came in here. I'm like, "What's going on?" She's like, "Here, they need to talk to you on the phone. It was our bank." I'm like, "Wait, what?" And so like she needed
Insufficient funds.
Yeah, she's like in order for me to mess with the account, I need your approval or whatever. I was like, "Why?" And the lady's like telling me this whole story about nonsense. I'm just like, "Okay, look, I'm in the middle of something right now. Like, what do you need me to do to get this going?" She's like,
I'm in the middle of a live stream. I need you to transfer all the money to my account.
She's like, "Oh, I just need your wife to do it again." I was like, "What?" I was like, "Hey, she wants you to do it again." And then she comes back a minute later and she's like, "Wait, she needs you to say that you give me approval." I was like, "What?" Anyway,
can't she say she's Nicotina? I'd believe it.
Yeah.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is what 4 nerds is. Yeah.
All right, let's see who's in the chat here.
Someone Zeverfeld.
Yeah.
Yep. I don't know how to say your name. I'm sorry. Valdir. Sounds like a
Valdir.
Valdir.
Sounds like a Viking name.
That's an awesome name.
Lloyd, hello Lloyd, how are you? Good to see you.
What's
Thanks
up?
for your support on the channel. What's up? What's up? Thanks for joining us. Daniel, what does that mean?
Daniel Ocean.
Oh no! Oh, the comment.
Oh, the comment.
Uma delicia. Oh, I am. You're delicious. I'd be delicioso.
He must be talking about Ryan.
Oh gosh.
¿Qué pasa?
What's up, Carlos? What's up? We got JN.
What's up,
Oh,
JN?
Sometimes it's 2 thumbs up. Sometimes they don't work. The little emojis. Yes. Hashtag I stand with Ray Fisher.
Yes.
We know.
Yeah.
We know. That is,
Yes.
the big thing right now.
Hey, it's a stormtrooper. TK421.
TK.
421. We're on Director Post.
Daniel, greetings. Hello, guys. Nice to see you.
How's
We
it
got
going?
more. We got more Stanley Ray Fisher comments.
Yeah,
Francisco.
what's up?
Francisco.
Good to hear. Good to hear.
Good to hear.
Yes, lots of support. Lots of support for sure. Freddie, what's up? Nice to see you again. Nice to see you. Thanks for joining us. Super in the Bat. I don't know why your thing's not popping up, but
It's a dope name, though.
Yeah.
yeah.
Super
in
Bat,
the Bat.
yes.
Cool. Yeah.
Got a lot of dope names in the chat right now. You got
Yeah, we
Valdir,
got-
Super in the Bat. Like,
Super in the Bat is awesome.
Neo Sevens, nice
Yeah.
to see you again. Yes. Oh, I wish that one would have showed up. It was the fist, Make the Batfleck movie. Make the Batfleck movie. I stand ready for sure. Yeah, lots of
Right
support
on.
for pretty much like a lot of members of the, the cast right now. Henry, we've had all those Twitter events going on with hashtags. There was the Ray Fisher one, the one for Henry Cavill Superman.
Yeah.
So lots of stuff going on with that. Jacob.
Jacob's here. What's up,
Shirts are
Jacob?
Good, right?
how's it going,
They're
Jacob?
awesome. Let's see. Oh, wait, let's see what this one real quick. Hey, what's up, Soups Batsy?
Zeus Batsy, what's
Batsy.
going on?
Yeah.
Come on.
Hi, Ali. Hi, guys. Yes, thank you for joining us. Neo7 said hello.
He was on earlier with Sean Mayer on their
Oh, nice.
on the movie buffs. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Awesome.
Cool. I'm not sure what this is. Voltron Unite. I'm not sure what that
Voltron
is.
Unite.
I guess we're the legs.
Yeah, we're the.
It'd be nice to see you
Like
again.
like the robber in
London.
Justice League. Like,
yeah. Make it over here.
Yeah.
what was that? It's Superman. It's because he's gone. Like, okay.
It's because he's gone. You know, Superman.
Where does that leave?
The one from Krypton.
It's because
You
he's
read
gone.
about the
In case you
Daily
guys
Planet?
forgot, because you guys don't like BVS, right?
Yeah. Oh, like BBS.
I'm gonna have to remind all of you because the writer said that you guys didn't like it. I don't know what's going on. Have you guys seen Mindhunter?
You should be more happy and cheerful.
Subscribe and triple chat.
I didn't mean to skip your comment. I was just getting the comments that are saying hello first, and then I was going to go back to the ones that have questions.
Don't apologize to them. No, okay.
Hey, bounce Nicotina out of here. Get him out.
No.
Jesus
Good
Christ.
evening
You
to
guys are,
you.
you guys are a bunch of stiffs.
I mean, we're not trying to take over the show.
Yeah, I know.
You gotta wait for midnight.
Yes, Walter Hamada
Your
got
time.
it. Yeah, Walter Hamada is definitely a topic of discussion for sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
what's going on with that, of course. Let me see.
They definitely have issues with DC presidents. I'll tell you that.
I know. What happened if Machine Gun the Batman used to let the bad guy die and save Martha Wood? Well,
I don't know. He threw it down and jumped on top of Martha.
it wasn't. Yeah, the other guy's weapon.
I think that was in the vault in the new zombie movie.
Armin's dead.
Oh, yeah.
Probably was. Everything was in the vault.
Yeah.
What's up, Jacob? Thanks for all the support.
It's a lot of love and emojis.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Anthony, I know you didn't bring him back.
Anthony?
Yeah.
No.
What's up, Anthony?
He said-
No. This is a good Anthony. We like this guy.
Yeah.
You are now a nerd.
Yes, lots of drama. So, since we're on that topic anyway, of course we know the big, topic of discussion the past few days is Ray Fisher. I mean, anytime he says something or something happens with that, it's a big topic of discussion. But this, I think, has, I don't know, it's a lot because now we're actually, he himself confirmed he's not going to be in the Flash movie. And
Yeah.
so, let's just get everyone's general thoughts real quick on this whole situation. If you don't know, yesterday on Twitter and social media, Ray Fisher posted like a really, in-depth statement about him being written out of the Flash movie. And of course, just keeping us up to date with everything going on with, Walter Hamada and this whole Justice League situation.
Yeah.
So let's just go around the table here. Let's start with Anthony. Just general thoughts on this situation.
My general thoughts is no. No.
I know.
Don't get angry.
Angry emoji.
The situation is basically trash at this point.
Mhm.
We love Ray Fisher. We support him. And, for him to have to put that statement out last night or yesterday evening, like right before I went on, Ali sent it to me, like that was sort of like that was that last thing where you're just like, okay, you know what? Warner Brothers can kiss my ass right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that was that last.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah, what I'm saying, last thing. That was the last that just had you like steaming, fuming, man. And so like now we won't see him in the Flash, which we all know we all wanted to see him in the Flash. But I mean, who knows what can happen down the road? But
Yeah.
Initial thoughts is that entire situation is garbage. And also for the directors of Musietis, you get influence like that where you just, you know what I mean? Like I'm sure they plan on having Flash in the movie, and then somebody probably came and told him, "Nah, you can't have him in here no more because he won't chill out." So,
Yeah.
Well, the Flash
I
is the
believe
main
Flash
character.
will be in the movie.
Yeah, Flash is the main character,
Yeah,
Anthony.
I don't think they're going to take the Flash out of the Flash
We know
movie.
he
I mean, that's of course.
I don't know where you're getting your
out.
sources.
He could
But
take his
I don't
I'm not
think
believing Flash is going to be in the Flash movie.
I mean, we all knew what you meant, but like, I
was like, should
We're
I
all
do it?
quiet. We all tried.
Should I
and-
get
and-
him?
Yeah, I couldn't help it.
I would expect nothing less from you guys. So
I mean, knowing Warner Brothers, if Ezra were to step out, they'd probably replace him with like a Zac Efron or somebody who's like really, positive. And
oh my
Chris
god.
Evans.
Chris Evans.
Oh.
Chris Evans is back as well.
He's back. He's back as
Wasn't
Captain
there-
America.
Well,
American
Well,
sweetheart.
Right now, on
Apparently,
Twitter.
apparently, he actually went out and said it's news to him that he
Yeah,
was
I
back.
saw that.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Kevin Feige was like, by the way, Chris Evans is back. When you want to let him know?
Yeah, you want to let him know.
Which that whole thing is very interesting because as soon as that bombshell of a tweet goes out by Ray Fisher, all of a sudden one of the world's famous superheroes all of a sudden comes back.
Mhm.
Distraction
not-
much?
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if it was an intentional distraction because again, he said it's news to him. So either he's severely downplaying it or it's completely false.
But then
Which-
again, I mean, Disney would have came out and said there's no truth to that. It's false, unless they're like, hey, that's a good idea. Let's just roll with it.
Yeah, probably so.
Yeah.
It's going to get a lot of attention.
Yeah, Warner Brothers is like, this is great.
Yeah. Well, and the whole thing, like Anthony said, the whole situation is kind of trash. And, it's even more sad because, we see that the story is getting blown up. Like, it was even on Fox News.
Yeah.
Like, that's how big this story is
Wow.
getting.
I
Is
didn't
that's
know
on a
that.
big program like that. Like, Fox had an article about it. Like, other different outlets have it on their website and everything. And the sad thing is, I was watching a bunch of different shows today, just kind of covering it, just kind of see what everybody else's thoughts are. And it's so sad how many people actually believe that Ray Fisher has said the words, if you don't believe me, you're a racist.
What?
No.
I know people are saying that. And I have to tell them, like, look, he never once said that.
He never said
once
that.
said that if you don't believe me, you're a racist. All he
What
ever
a
said was,
spin. What a spin.
I know. All he ever said was, if I'm lying, they can sue me for slander. No
Yeah.
lawsuits have been put forth. So,
Right.
yeah, I'm
I mean,
willing to
obviously,
believe a more
there's more
possible
to it.
truth than a lie.
Definitely.
Tina?
Well, I just think that the whole thing is ridiculous. I think that making this decision and obviously making it public. Well, they're going to have to at one point, but making the decision to remove him from the movie to me is the worst decision that you could have made as a company because in the midst of what's happening in the country right now, I just don't think this is the right move to make. And I think that you have to find a way to resolve the issue in the best way possible that reflects the most positive way for your company.
Mhm.
But instead, they went with what I guess they felt was the safest and easiest route, which was to just take him out of the movie and let's move on.
I mean,
that's
I don't think
basically
it was
what
the
they're doing.
safest route, and I don't think they thought of it that way. I think they were looking at the money. They were like, okay, Ray Fisher can bring in this kind of money. Walter Hamada brings in this kind of money. Just
I mean,
the same. It's the same
If
situation
you
with
took
Jeff
Hamada
Johns.
out of that position, are you saying that those properties still stay with him wherever he goes?
You talking about Walter?
Yeah,
Well, I mean, Walter's still tethered to
Walter.
Walter Hamada. What's Hamada with you? So no. He's tied to the Batman movie. He's tied to the Suicide Squad movie. He's tied to Aquaman 2. He's tied to this Flash movie. So I mean, he stands financially to kind of hold on, and he's had success under his belt as well. He has two $1 billion movies. He has Aquaman and the Joker, which he didn't agree with the Joker. He didn't want to make it, but he still did, and it's still under his belt, so he gets the credit. And then Aquaman, his one of his good buddies, James Wan, made that movie, and they it was sort of a Jeff Johns kind of jumped in there and made some changes and things like that, because that's what they were doing. Walter Hamada was in league with Jeff Johns because they were co-presidents of DC. This is DC Films, which is under the umbrella of Warner Brothers Pictures, but it's still DC. So I mean, Warner Brothers is still, they're all responsible. Even AT&T. AT&T is the umbrella company, which these other two entities are underneath. So therefore, you have to look at if something's going on in your house, you're responsible for everyone in your house.
Right.
So therefore AT&T, Jason Kilar or whatever, he is responsible for all this mishap. And yeah, I think they were just weighing how much money will Ray bring in versus how much money has Hamada brought in, and how much more potential money will he bring in, because at the end of the day, it's a business and they're looking at it as at a financial aspect. But do I think that they shot themselves in the foot over and over again? Because this is what they do. It's habitual. They're reactive. It's going to shoot him in the foot again when March comes out and the Snyder Cut releases, and you see the performance that Ray Fisher gives. And then you see that Ray Fisher Cyborg leads or helps the Flash lead into the Flash movie, and then he disappears because Zack's not going to change his story. He's got his story. His story's set. The story's locked. The cut is locked. They're finishing shots. They're finishing rescore and ADR work, and they're putting the polish on it. They're doing finishing touches. The thing's done. It's complete. It's ready to be, or it's about to be ready to be, viewed by us within 2 months. So yeah, I mean, and you're going to have the performance, and then people are going to go and say, hey, you know what? What's going on with Ray Fisher? Where is he going from here? Because he's the heart of the film. So if he's the heart of the film, that means he's definitely a focus of the film, right? So I mean, it's where's it going to go? It's not going to go to a cul-de-sac, which Hamada didn't say. The interviewer did, but it was sort of the gist. Sort of the gist. Is that the Snyder Cut is we're just giving this to the fans, and we're moving on with the Marvel esque type,
because they already knew that this was going to happen. So that's why this whole cul-de-sac of a story, because they knew that they were going to remove him from the movie, and essentially they were going to go their own separate ways. A company within a company saying, you're going to do what you're going to want to do. Like, go do your Snyder Cut. That's fine. We're doing our thing. And this is connected to Justice League.
They thought that they could control the narrative, because what they're banking on, which is what I was saying on Enosh's show last night, was they're hoping that people are going to have a short, memory, and a short attention span, and be like, okay, well, so what you're saying is Cyborg's not in the Flash? Okay, that's fine.
That movie's so far away. It's like. It's not pushed back so long, and they wouldn't even confirm if he was. Well, we figured he would be in the movie, but there was no hard confirmation that his character was going to be in it until now that we find out he's being written out. So it's like by the time that movie even comes out, who knows where this situation is going to be.
And speaking of confirmation, this thing that Lycast brought up is that Warner Brothers as a company has yet to confirm what Ray Fisher said about him being written out of the movie. And the thing is, that's because Ray Fisher got ahead of the story. He got ahead of the narrative. And
congratulations. He did that twice.
Yeah, twice.
That's awesome.
And the big thing with Warner Brothers, we were talking about how they are screwing themselves over and shooting themselves in the foot. They're doing it with multiple different parts of their audience. Like, you look at just people who believe in moral decency in general. They're pissed off the situation. Then you have the people who, for lack of a better term, they're more known as maybe some of the woke crowd, right? Maybe that's something that people are called in that sense. You pissed off both sides of that fandom. And these are the same hardcore fans who, for the longest time, have been stoked for Zack Snyder's Justice League, for the Suicide Squad, for the Batman, for all these other projects. And these are also the same fans that Warner Brothers is pissing off royally. Not a good move. Not a good plan.
Exactly. It doesn't make any sense. Why would you go and upset your fans over properties and products that we want to see, because your own ego is saying, no, I want to do this.
Yes.
I want to make a Birds of Prey Part 2. I want to make and I want to make the trend. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, I understand if your consumer base, if the customers that you're making products for are saying, oh no, I want black coffee. That's the way to go. And you're like, that's great. Put more cream in it. You know what I mean? Like, I think this is better. It's like, it doesn't make any sense.
What about the sugar?
Yeah, put sugar. Put two scoops. But it doesn't make any sense. You gear your product towards your customer.
Yeah.
And it just seems like that
customer is always right.
Exactly. That's the last thing on their minds, because they're like, no, we know what's what we do is fine, and you'll eat what we give you.
Yeah.
Which is sort of like what it feels like. Because I'm like, why would you not listen to your fans and say, hey, they're clamoring, they're going nuts for this. Like, we got to make sure let's get this stuff going. Like, this is what's going to do it. Obviously, there's a lot more going on that we don't know about.
Yeah.
But from outside looking in, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't.
Yeah. It doesn't look good on Warner Brothers. It doesn't look good on DC
Mhm.
Films, because you know what? Like Dawson was saying, he jumped in there twice. He said, number one, I'm not working on any other project with Walter Hamada attached.
Walter Hamada. Yeah.
Then after that, Walter Hamada was announced for another 2 years. You know, he just re-signed, right? And then, you know, Ray comes out and says, hey, I got notice that I've been removed from this project. And we're waiting on, you know, to hear from the to hear from Warner Brothers in DC. Haven't heard anything from them yet, because they're like, shit. How do we, you know, they're scrambling behind the scenes. Like, how do we spin this? How do we make this not so bad? You know, I mean, you know, yeah, I like how he puts them in their place, you know, and it's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is the thing too. A lot of people are saying in the chat, you know, it's not a good look for the studio. You know, it's not, I mean, if anyone in any workplace or any industry was, you know, making complaints about, you know, racism or things going on privately and bringing that to people, you know, executive levels attention, and then they get fired for that, or they get, you know, something happens to them with their job, like that doesn't make the company look any better. Like, it looks worse.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like,
And
instead of addressing
worse.
the problem, instead of addressing the problem, it's kind of proving Ray Fisher's point.
And also
You know
another
what I
thing
mean?
about
It's not-
that is
it's not helping them.
right.
You know,
And another thing with that is, like, when it comes to complaints in the workplace about misconduct of any kind,
Right.
the thing that Ray Fisher is asking for is not necessarily to be just simply believed based on his word. That's not what he's saying. What he's saying is that he's had a complaint about a specific person connected to a lot of people. Like, of course, talked about Joss Whedon, John Berg, and Jeff Johns. He had complaints about all of them. His main issue, and this is the thing that a lot of people misunderstand, is that he has issues with all three of them. And Hamada's saying, like, well, let's just not put it on Jeff Johns because he's my buddy, and I just don't believe that he could do that. And so he's not taking a complaint like that seriously. Like, you can believe him all you want, but or disbelieve him all you want, you know, not believe him, whatever. But you have to take those things seriously, at least to a certain extent.
yeah,
Right. And the fact that Hamada is not taking his claims about Jeff Johns seriously, at least serious enough to really look into it, that's the wrong thing here. That's the thing that's so messed up about the situation.
Yeah.
Well, it's just like any other job, any other industry.
Yeah, any
If
other.
they had this
Exactly.
kind of situation happen, it would be treated like a 180.
Oh,
because
it would be totally different,
Yeah.
especially if it's a
Well,
bigger
hopefully.
company as well. More established. I mean, they have so many protocols set into place that PR protocols that you have to follow. And I think that when it comes to the entertainment industry and with Hollywood, it's still uncharted. You know, it's uncharted lands because they've never dealt with this kind
right.
of
It's what they do is they do it behind the curtains.
Yeah,
Yes,
It's
they
out of
do.
public
They're
view. Nobody
still-
knows what's going on.
exactly.
They
And they're
don't know
still
what's going
trying to do what they've done before in the past, but they're doing it just a little bit different now. But it's still the same thing. And it's not working. It's making them look horrible.
Mhm.
And then it also makes you wonder. We just heard the news that recently that Patty Jenkins is going to go do Rogue Squadron with Disney,
Mhm.
Yeah.
and then Ben Affleck is going to direct the movie for Disney.
Yeah.
Are a lot of these filmmakers, are they leaving because they're like, man, these people are tripping. I'm out of here.
I don't blame him.
Exactly.
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean, they probably knew about this before we did.
If you think Warner Brothers looks bad now, wait till March when that thing drops.
And Warner Bros. Is terrified of that.
Because it's going to be great, and they're going to be
Yeah.
like, look, they're really going to look like some assholes
Fools.
after that. Yeah.
People are gonna be like, why did you say no to this? What is up with it?
want to do the trench.
guys, we got a Trench movie coming, and then we got an Amazon's movie coming, and then we're gonna have.
Is
I don't
Gal
know-
in that movie? No.
Yeah, no.
However,
It's not.
we're going to introduce a new Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just completely, I don't know. They choose to, like you guys were saying earlier, instead of just following what the fan base is, gravitating toward,
Nick Love.
they just completely ignore it, and they're like, there's too much pride.
Yeah.
They're just like, no, this is what we're gonna do, and I don't know, I don't know if they're trying to be like, okay, Marvel. It seems like whatever they put out, like their fans are gonna love it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like their fans don't complain for the most part about stuff that they
And they
put
earned
out.
that by
They earned
over
that,
like
yeah.
20 plus movies, you know, doing what
Mhm.
people liked, which I'm not saying DC should be like Marvel. That's the opposite of what I'm
No, no,
saying.
no,
Yeah,
no.
no, I
That's
agree.
But
it's the opposite. They need to just
Exactly.
own the fact that they're not Marvel and do what is working for DC instead of
Yeah.
like trying to be like, okay, well, this works for Marvel, so we gotta try that. No, you have different characters, you have different stories, you have different material. There's no reason to do that. You know,
Right.
so instead of, you know, I think that's instead of trying to just follow that formula, that's what got them in this mess in the first place, is trying to, you know, react to all of these negativity and controversy.
Yeah, and that's probably
Instead of-
why Ben and Patty moved over to Disney, so that
Yeah.
you know, hey, give these fools some time to get their house in order. You know,
Mhm.
I'm gonna go make money because I still have to work, so I'm gonna go work for a different company for the time being. And hey, if they treat me well, because Patty came from Disney, she was supposed to do the Thor, the Dark World. They had creative differences, and she came over and you know, Zack hired her.
Yeah,
So
she
now
was
she's
supposed
going
to-
back. You know.
Yeah. So okay, we saw Ray just tweeted. All right.
Ray just tweeted.
He
Ray just
tweeted.
tweeted?
Let me get it up. Hold on. I'm going.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
Oh, he's
here it
just
is.
replying
Oh,
to me.
Yeah, he tweeted out the article from Casey Stern.
Deadline,
Yeah.
Hollywood, yeah.
Okay, yeah, Warner Media accused of cruelty and okay, yeah, I just saw that before we got started, but I didn't know what it was about. Okay, so he's tweeting that accountability over entertainment. Yeah, okay. All right, so I guess, you know, he's probably just trying to show like there's
Like,
a
I'm not the
history
only
of
one.
complaints. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Just like with Joss Whedon, he wasn't the first time that there was complaints about, you know, misconduct or mistreatment on the set. So, and again, like what he had said in part of his that statement that he put out yesterday. Oh wait, I'm sorry. Before I forget, just shout out to everyone who, you know, leaving super chats. I appreciate it. You know, it's he wasn't the only one who had bad experiences on the set. But just because, like, you know, there's not other cast members publicly coming out and saying like, I stand with Ray Fisher. Jason Momoa did.
Yeah.
And Gal Gadot, you know, she didn't give detail, but she said like, you know, she had problems. They got taken care of, but obviously there was stuff going on with other people. You know, she didn't want to do the scene with the flash falling on her. Her body double didn't want to do that either.
Yeah.
And so obviously there was problems going on. But just because people aren't, you know, some people are like, you know, well, why aren't more cast members coming out? Well, because, you know, look what happened. Like they don't have to voice it publicly to show their support. Like Ray has mentioned before that, you know, there's been people who have privately talked to him. There's obviously people that were involved in the investigation, but what he was afraid of is that they wouldn't be protected. And so that was one of his main goals, is, you know, people feel safe to answer questions in the investigation or, you know, talk about their experiences, because obviously, you know, they don't want to jeopardize, you know, if they're afraid of their career being messed up, or, you know, it can be a scary thing to come out publicly and talk against these people,
Yeah,
you know,
that's for sure.
executive people. So, you know, kudos to him. I give him props for, you know, sticking to his guns and not being intimidated.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
it's his first movie, and so, you know, unfortunately.
And like we said before, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. I think I talked about it on Nicotina's show. Like, he's going to get more work.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's already working. He's on location.
He's on location, and you know, when Zack does the rest of Justice League, gets to finish his stuff. Who's playing Cyborg? It guaranteed it's Ray Fisher. So like,
there's no way Zack's gonna do a project without him as
No.
Cyborg. There's no way. There's no way.
No.
Yeah.
Even if he does other projects like we were talking about last time.
Here comes Samuel L. Jackson as Cyborg. I'm tired of fighting these motherfucking parademons out of this motherfucking plane.
I'm this motherfucking flying fox. Like,
Batman, say what again? How dare you?
How dare you? I want to roll it out with cheese.
They speak English and what?
Oh man.
No, watch it. There's an
Yeah.
article saying that too. Like,
and Samuel Jackson, Cyborg's going to be the Nick Fury of the DCEU.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
WB considering Samuel Jackson and Idris Elba to replace Cyborg. Like, oh god.
And somehow Michael Keaton is in Zack Snyder's Justice League 2 as Batman.
Yeah.
And Netflix Batman aged 30 years.
Yeah.
miraculously.
Like,
Yeah.
no.
Parody magic.
Yeah, he'll just show up and go multiverse. Oh, got it. Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the answer.
A lot of stuff went down while I was away, guys. Sorry.
Yeah, Ronnie said, I think Patty will come back to finish Wonder Woman 3 to finish her arc and then leave Warner Brothers. Yeah, I mean, I don't see what else she would, well, not at least in the DC realm. I don't think she would have anything else to really, I don't think she'd be making any other movies unless they offered her to. But,
Yeah.
you know, before, I was really surprised when they announced Wonder Woman 3 so fast after the new one just came out, because before that, with, you know, these interviews and stuff she was doing, she didn't seem very certain about it.
Well, right,
Like-
right. She had that one interview. What was it like in November, where they had that little panel and they were kind of sitting on the couch and they were kind of discussing it, and that's where she was talking about the Amazon flick and the Wonder Woman 3 idea that she had, you know, kicking around or whatever. And that was just kind of like, you know, I just think she was just spitballing. But for them to come out and say, hey, you know, Wonder Woman 3 is greenlit, but there's no official word. Nobody's come out and said anything. Gal's not come out and said anything. Patty's not come out and said anything. None of the trades have come out and said, hey, this is officially happening or whatever. It was just kind of thrown out there. And it's like, okay, you know, was that to cover up, you know, Ray Fisher saying he didn't want to work with Walter Hamada? I don't know, because they do crap like that. So it's weird, man. These guys are
breaking real quick. I'm about to bounce.
You gotta say bye to Anthony.
Appreciate you having me on, Allie. We'll see you.
Thank you so much, Anthony. See you soon.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And you douchebags, I'll see you in like 10 minutes.
Hey, yo, what?
You have to go get
back
prepared
right now.
for the corner.
man. Oh, I'm so
All right.
glad he's gone.
Okay, here we go.
I'll tell you really.
All right, the show is
I
started.
said, y'all hear WB is trying to get Chris Nolan to come back and do Batman again? I haven't heard anything about that.
I've heard like vague rumors, but like I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like he
I
did his
don't think
thing.
he would anyway.
And The Dark Knight Rises was the worst of the three. And if it's going to keep continuing that route, you know, where you have what's his name from Third Rock from the Sun coming back and being like, I'm Batman now, is like, wait a minute.
Yeah, no.
I don't.
No,
I don't
he's
think we're gonna do
Robin.
that.
He's Robin.
Oh yeah,
His
his
real
actual name is Robin. Oh.
His actual name is
Yeah.
Robin.
Yeah, no, please, Chris Nolan, keep doing cool stuff like you know, the what was that? Tenet and then that other movie, The Inception. So
The
yeah,
Tenet,
please,
the Tenet.
The Tenet, yeah, The Tenet. Yeah. I mean, it was a cool movie. It was a cool concept, but just keep doing cool stuff like that. Don't come back to Batman.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, he his movies were a little bit different too, because now we're kind of in this universe where it's like all these characters exist, and his Batman movies weren't really like that. Like
His Batman
it was
movies
just-
were crime movies that featured someone
was
dressed
a-
in a Batman
It was
costume.
a what
it
if.
didn't-
It was a what if Batman existed.
yes.
That was it. You know?
Yeah, and it wasn't like part of this shared universe where like other, not that you have to acknowledge all these superheroes, but it's like it was just its own. It was just Batman, and now we're kind of in the shared universe where even if the stories don't rely on each other or feed off of each other, we know that they all exist together.
Yeah.
Except for like Joker, I mean, they're gonna have, you know, these movies that are not necessarily directly connected, but as far as like, you know, Justice League, all these movies, Batman, they're going to be part of this shared universe.
Well, I mean, at this point now, it's almost like they saved themselves by saying that it was a multiverse. You know, they're saying, well, I mean, multiverse.
All reverse.
Well, the MCU is going to do the same thing. Jump into the multiverse. But DC's like, oh well, like we have multiverse, even though they haven't established anything, because the only multiverse that they've established is the one that they've been talking about.
Yeah.
But now that you have all this turmoil, now that you have all this inconsistency going on, you have a Flash movie with no Cyborg. So that tells me that you're gonna have a Flash movie with, you know, a possible cameo of Ben Affleck. But, you know, what if he would have pulled out of that and say, you know what, if that's how you guys are going to handle this, you know, I'm out. And then what's going to happen?
Hot take. I think there might be some doubt around the Flash movie actually happening.
Actually happening?
Like actually happening.
It could be.
I don't know about that.
I'm not saying I think that. I'm just saying there might be some doubt on that, at least now more than ever.
Well, I mean, I think if anything, to solidify the fact that this is actually going to happen, the Muschiettis have to come out and say something, and they haven't.
Yeah.
And when are they going to? And are they planning
Nobody
to?
has. The only person that has so far is Ray, because they're still working behind the scenes trying to figure out, all right, what do we say? What's the best course of action moving forward to make us not sound like assholes?
Yeah.
Well, it's too late now because they already are.
I mean, they're
they're beyond assholes. I mean, they're up to
not certainly, because I mean,
not certainly.
The general.
How do you
silence? Okay, the general
public,
public, but the general audience doesn't know anything of this that's going on.
They will soon enough.
What? You're going to put it on the Midnight Run?
Yeah, I'm going to go on weekly and make a scene.
But this is drawing more attention to it, though. No, like casual moviegoers don't know what's going on.
They don't know the drama.
They don't know. They don't know.
They don't care. They just want to be entertained. They want to get popcorn, flicks and whatever, and they want to go to the movies and enjoy it with their kids or their family or their friends or or whatever. And they don't care about the behind the scenes stuff, and so that's what Warner Brothers and DC Films is banking on, for it to be swept under the rug, and nobody's going to hear about it. Nobody cares, because us three and the people in the chat as well, and people watching at home are not going out there and retweeting this and really kind of putting it out there and raising awareness to this issue. If this issue was raised and everybody knows about it, then that forces their hand to actually commit and do something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have to take action.
That's a big part of it too. Like, they don't, and I'm sure that was probably part of, why they didn't even acknowledge, the Snyder Cut movement. They were probably like, well, we already put out this Justice League movie. How are we supposed to explain to the general?
Look at Ryan's face. Oh, that was awesome. Dawson wasn't even watching. His face throws up. He was like,
gosh. Continue.
Can we please move on, please?
That's not what I said.
I'm sure they were like, I'm sure part of it was, besides the whole pride and ego thing, how are we supposed to explain that this is a different Justice League? It has like all the same characters, but it's very different.
Yeah.
Like, to that, for a general like that as far as trying to bring in the general audience, is really this is for the fans who kind of know more about what happened. I mean,
that's why they're coming out with the next trailer. I don't know if it's going to be at the Super Bowl, but they're coming out with another trailer for the general audience. They've given us our trailer and let us, see everything or whatever. But it's again, same thing with this situation with Ray and what's going on with DC Films is for the Snyder Cut. There's got to be education, because the general public is just, what they're saying is why do I want to see a director's cut? I've already seen this movie. I didn't like it. Why do I want to see a longer version of the movie I didn't like?
Yeah.
And what they don't understand is it's completely different story, different, it's got some of the same beats here and there, when it comes to like Steppenwolf and things like that. But a lot of it is different, and it matches up and it melds better, and it's a better cohesive story, and that's what they just don't understand. That's what they don't get, because they're not privy to that information, because they're not plugged in. They're watching. They're watching Netflix. They're watching Hulu. They're watching Disney Plus. They're watching all the HBO Max, and they're not tuned into anything else. They're just being entertained right now because they're at home because of COVID.
Yeah, and thank you, Troy. I really do appreciate it. You're too kind. Let me read your comment real quick. I wish someone would ask Zack why he has never gone back to a more creative director of photography for Man of Steel. I love Larry Fong, but am I the only one who prefers Man of Steel visuals over BBS? Well, maybe. I don't know if I think they're both really beautiful. Zack has, a very specific style and aesthetic.
Yeah.
I think they're both, all his movies are visually appealing and very artistic.
I mean, that's the main thing that everybody can agree on, is they all look pretty.
And speaking of that, there was, I didn't ask
pretty.
I didn't ask that specific question when I was on the interview with Fabian Wagner. I asked him somewhat of a similar, it was kind of within those lines, like how, since he didn't do the other movies, but we're expecting Zack's style to be there,
Yeah.
Like, how did he, bring his own style, but still make it seem like it's not a completely different, aesthetic? And he said, you just kind of, the way he explained it was that, you want them to feel like they're part of the same family. But, there's, of course, with every movie, like they want a little bit of changes or improvements. You don't want it to be,
You don't want it to be the exact
exactly
same thing.
every time. You don't want it to, repeat your work, but at the same time, you want it to feel like it lives in the same family.
Yeah.
So
Right.
as far as him going with different cinematographers, I don't really know, but they still have kind of that same, even his other movies, like, what we've seen so far from Army of the Dead, like he has, that, and Watchmen, like they all kind of have that stamp that it's a Zack Snyder movie. But it's an interesting question though, to bring up.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
Definitely is.
Yeah.
But as much as I want to see Zack Snyder Justice League, I actually now have DC Justice League. It's been a long road to get here. I understand it's been a lot. It's been a long road, but like I think going back to the general audience thing, I've seen people on my channel tell me like that are not as
up to date.
I guess I would say like not as aware of how we got to this point or why it's coming out. I've had people. There was a person who commented that they got HBO Max just for that, and they don't even completely know if I don't even know if I'm gonna like it, but I'm interested, and that's why I got HBO Max, and I was like, hey, that's cool. Like this person that's not
HBO Max is legit though.
No,
It really is.
They do have a lot of good material. But it was pretty interesting to me to see someone that wasn't like this hardcore person in the fandom that's just like, hey, I saw this, it looks interesting. I'm not sure if I'm gonna love it, but so I think that that's a good sign that, there are people in the general audience who are like, oh wow, like this looks cool.
Yeah.
And people could think, oh, this is just another Justice League movie or something. Like I don't really know, to be honest, how the general audience is thinking about that. But like Ryan said, it's going to be, the next trailer is going to be more for the general audience. For sure.
Yes, agreed.
The first one was like,
it'll probably say like 3 hours of unseen footage. It'll say like updated storyline, like full performances. It'll probably say a little bit of like you see the full experience that wasn't present in 2017. Like make sure that's accentuated and emphasized for the audience.
It's like the movie that Joss Whedon didn't want you to see.
Yeah,
pretty much.
I tried to,
not Joss.
Under the rug is back,
and the movie that Jeff Johns screwed over.
Yeah,
Liam Neeson is not in the film.
His face is completely vacant from Steppenwolf's body.
John Berg is gone.
It is surreal. It is surreal to me still that like it's we are gonna see it. It was funny. I don't know if you guys saw. Speaking of that distinction, there was that IMDb surveys going around recently, and I was tweeting about it too. And then someone had shared one that was you could vote for like the worst comic book movie based on the comics. And for Justice League, the theatrical version was on there, but under it says Joss Whedon cut. And I was like, oh, yeah.
Well, it could have been whoever made the poll typed that in there so that they wouldn't.
Well, at least someone's being a little honest.
Exactly. Somebody thought that out, and that was good. That was good.
I was like, that's pretty cool. I don't see that show and it's still too. Oh, okay. Or Justice League or sequel happening anytime soon. They want to get rid. Yeah, that's.
Again, there's a lot of things that can happen. There's a lot of things that can happen. Just wait for March. And if March comes and Justice League is successful and the studio realizes, well, freak, we made a stupid decision, we could see that turn around.
Right. I mean, to be honest with you, they really didn't have to approve Zack Snyder to do his Justice League cut.
No.
They didn't have to. I've heard the fans and but this is our new direction. This is where we're going. I don't care, what's going on here or whatever, whatever Jeff and Walter and John and whoever else want to do going forward, let's just do that and forget this other stuff. This these other fans, I'm sorry, but we're not doing that. We're not putting the money into that. And but instead they said, you know what, 70 million isn't so much, right? Let's invest 70 million into this other film and really come up with a really awesome production. that goes nowhere. Yeah, that's not a good business decision. No,
No,
they're
not at all.
expecting full. They're expecting. They got excited so much for the cut that they saw that they were like,
Yes.
you know what, we're investing in this. This is an investment.
And it was a cut. It wasn't even it wasn't complete yet. He still had work to do on, it, and they were still like, yeah, do it.
No, Nicotina, there's a cut. It does exist.
There's a cut. It exists.
It's real.
Done. The cut's done. Minus some special effects, but still.
I mean,
mean-
you saw it in Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
What do you need?
That's pretty cool if they threw that in there. I mean, Deborah Snyder, like she did say, like it was a process for them to get they're backing on, yes, we're going to finish everything and like give this whole full thing. We don't want to do the incomplete, just what we want to put in theaters. Like we want to finish our complete vision. So I remember her saying on Lightcast podcast, it was kind of, some hurdles to get through for them to be behind the whole full 4 hours.
Yeah.
She said they told them, like, you guys can put you guys can put out the unfinished version if you want, like what you have so far. And they're like, no, like we're going to do this right. And she said that they had to give them like a presentation basically, on what they wanted to do. And I don't know if they didn't know by now that there's like a demand for it. I don't know if they had to prove that like, hey, there's a fan base for this. They want this.
Mhm.
If they didn't know that, then I don't know. I mean, they're not just casual people. Like they have PR teams. They have people running social media. I'm sure they knew that there was this global demand for the Snyder Cut. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
And it's you said it's global as well.
Yeah.
It's worldwide. It's worldwide.
It's worldwide.
Yeah.
Crystal worldwide.
Wide.
That's the worst thing in Aquaman 2 is putting that doofus in there.
Worldwide.
Yeah. Dolly. Miami. Is that I mean, you've got all these different, entities coming together and they could have easily done nothing at all. So I don't know. I mean, Amber Heard, I don't care. Is she employed? Sure. I mean, whatever. I don't care. It is what it is.
Yeah. Personally, I don't know enough about.
Same.
I know that there's stuff. I know like in a nutshell, but I don't know enough of the details to know. I know it's just accusations between her and Johnny Depp, and that supposedly she lied about. I don't know. I guess I know a lot more about the Ray Fisher situation than the Amber Heard thing, and so. But I guess I could see why people would think of it as a double standard kind of thing. But
Well, the thing is with her, it's something really weird, and they did that. It was a domestic thing, had nothing to do with executives. With Ray,
domestic violence.
they're protecting their own. They're protecting the executives. They're looking out for their echelon of executive people. The suits. Whereas Amber Heard, it's the joke is Amber Turd. I mean, it's it is what it is. I don't care. I don't care what they do behind closed doors. I don't care about them personally. I don't care about their personal lives. I don't care to meet them. I don't care to talk to them. I don't care. But if they want to be in a film and somebody wants to hire somebody that poops on the bed, sure, I don't care. As long as she doesn't do it in the film or on set,
Well, I guess. Yeah. I guess what people could also say is that Johnny Depp was forced to leave too, and it didn't have anything to do with. But that's I don't know. That's a whole other messy
It's a
situation.
slippery slope when you talk about that topic in general. But I think there's definitely something that you have to look at, especially if you're WB. You gotta say, hey, look. This is the result of this. This was the result of this, and this was the result of this. I mean, are we being consistent across the board? The other question you have to ask yourself is, do we care as a company?
Yeah.
And they should, because most companies would care, a lot about the public perception. But, we'll see.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
We're all reading.
Well, guys, Dawson, Andre and Ryan got to head out. They got to go to their own foreign nerd show. So make sure you definitely go and support them. I will be on there later on. So go ahead and check out their awesome show. David Film Junkie is going to be there, so it should be a good time.
Yeah.
But thank you guys so much for coming on with me. Really do appreciate it. Good conversation, and see you guys soon.
Always.
Awesome.
All right.
Thanks
for having us.
Great to be here.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yeah.
Later.
All right. So thank you, Troy, for the super chat so much. Really do appreciate it. It seems Hamada hates the movement, but if the Snyder Cut does great, but Hamada wants to cul-de-sac it, does Jason Kilar side with Zack or Hamada? I don't know. Hopefully they recognize that the fan base is there. Hopefully they realize the success it brings, and hopefully Jason Kilar will make the right decision and, you know, move forward with that. I do feel like HBO Max might be the right home for Zack Snyder's, for the Snyderverse. I feel like that might be the better option for his content within the DCEU, because we know like his personal movies have more of a continuity between them, and then there's like the other solo movies that are a little bit, you know, not necessarily within the same continuity, but they're the same characters. You know, hopefully they make the right decision, and if it's, you know, if the Snyderverse lives at HBO Max and that's where it, you know, is successful and that's where they give him the creative freedom, then, you know, I'm for that for sure. Ronnie said, it's my first time watching a live. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed it so far. 4 Nerds just headed out. They're about to start their show. I'm going to be on there in about an hour, so catch me on there as well. Probably a lot of it might be the same conversation. You know, it's a lot. It's a big topic right now, but yeah, it should be fun anyway. So it was nice of them to join me, even though they have their own show coming up. Good stream. Thank you, Mario, so much. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jacob. This is your first live, also. Oh, on my chat. Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate the support from everyone. Let's see. Oh, where did that go? I meant to show. Yeah, it has become yeah, it's kind of got, I don't know enough about it, like I said. What about Gal Gadot issues with Joss, and it was dealt with immediately? Ray's issues were ignored by Hamada, and it took him putting on. Yeah, I don't really know why Gal Gadot's problems were handled right away. I don't know if it depends, like maybe which person she expressed it to when it got handled. I don't know. She, you know, we don't know any details about the problems that she had, except for the, you know, not wanting to do the scene with Flash falling on her and her body double also not wanting to do that. So, but besides that, I don't really know what else happened with her and why her issue was taken care of. It could have been, you know, whoever she took the issue to and they handled it. I don't really know. I have no idea. I guess we don't know enough about it to know why hers book was handled and Ray's wasn't, but it just goes to show that there was bad experiences happening on the set. You know, even though we don't know enough, we don't really know any details about hers, it just shows that, you know, there was all that bad stuff going on. And another thing is, like, Warner Brothers, yeah, there were some different people in executive positions during the filming of Justice League than there are now. Like, Ann Sarnoff wasn't there at the time. You know, it was still Kevin Sujihara. Jeff Johns was still DC president, like films president. So there were different people in executive positions. Diane Nelson was there still. So, but she left. And I think she, you know, she obviously is not a fan of Jeff Johns either. And she probably didn't like what was going on, so she left. You know, WB, they were very misleading when it came to Justice League with the fans and with the crew and with the cast. They wanted all of us to believe that this was still Zack's vision. It was Zack's decision to bring in Joss, which was not true at all. You know, all of these changes were what Zack wanted to do. That wasn't true. It's still going to be the same movie. No, we know that all of that was totally misleading. The trailers were misleading. The whole, you know, telling the cast to vouch for Joss Whedon and say, like, you know, to push that whole narrative, that was misleading for the cast and for us. So why would people believe that Ray Fisher is lying when Warner Brothers just lied to us the whole time before Justice League came out? And then, now when Zack Snyder's Justice League comes out, you know, it's really gonna put the spotlight on just how much they changed, how much they were trying to just get away from what Snyder wanted to do altogether. So, you know, I think that's another reason why they didn't want to release his movie all these years, is because it shows how much they changed and how much they were trying to get away from what he wanted to do. Thank you, Anthony. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. It was nice having some guests on. You know, they're great. They're always fun. I always, you know, I enjoy going on their streams and stuff, so it was nice having them on here for their support. Oh, thank you, Troy. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. You know, there's no obligation to super chat. It's just, but thank you for the support. It's only, you know, it's totally voluntary. Thank you so much, Troy. I really appreciate it. Let's see. I just wish Walter and Ray can sort this out in time, and maybe he can come back. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of seems like Ray didn't have a problem with Walter Hamada until he spoke. He was talking with Walter Hamada, and then, you know, Walter Hamada was trying to cover up for Jeff Johns and protect him. I think maybe that's when the issues with Walter Hamada started from Ray. Maybe he didn't have a problem before that. But then when he saw that, okay, he wants to protect Jeff Johns instead of take care of the situation, I think that's when Ray started having a problem with him, possibly. You're finally able to make a stream. Thank you. Yes, I know. He's always like, don't do it. I'm going to be at work. I'm glad you were able to make this one. But yeah, it's just, of course, I mean, it's been a lot going on. I hope that Ray gets the, you know, what he needs from this. And so hopefully that's what happens, you know. Oh, thank you, my brother. My brother's so sweet. Thank you so much. He's awesome. At least you can see me like this, since we haven't seen each other in forever. Thank you so much. You're awesome, little brother. Warner Brothers continues to show us how little they respect their talent fans. They're alienating the very people who want to support. Yeah, I think they really need to be a lot more fan-oriented. And I think a big part of why we're actually able to get this 4-hour Snyder cut is because of AT&T. I don't think it was only just, you know, Toby Emmerich decided to call Zack Snyder one day and be like, hey, you want to do the movie? I don't think it was that. Because they could have done that a long time ago, you know? So I think AT&T might have been like, hey, you need to get on this, because why are you sitting on this, you know? I don't know. That's just my theory. Let's do a couple more comments before I head out. Thank you so much, Troy. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, restore the Snyderverse for sure. The, you know, Snyder fandom is a force to be reckoned with, not in a bad way, you know, hopefully. We don't want to be, you know, toxic or anything like that, but hopefully they, you know, after Zack Snyder's Justice League finally comes out, hopefully they really see how much people want to, how much people really want to support what he does. And like I said, if that means that this little, you know, Snyderverse, if that means that it lives at HBO Max, well, you know, that's not a bad thing, because it allows us to get the content, and if it allows Zack to have that creative freedom that he needs, you know, that he wants to really do what he originally intends for the universe, then I think that would be a good decision too. All right, but before I head out, I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who supports my channel. Thank you for the super chats. Thank you for tuning in during this live stream. Thank you for the support on my videos. I appreciate it so much. If you're new, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications. You can follow me on Twitter at SuperHiveDC. Also, the links in the description. Well, there's a link in the description for my Twitter profile. It'll take you there. And then also, if you're interested in my merch, there's a link in the description of this video. All my videos have the link, as well as if you follow me on Twitter, it's in my bio. Have some merch there. You guys can check that out. And I really appreciate any support whatsoever, even, you know, just commenting, leaving a thumbs up, whatever. I'm thankful for all of it. So again, thank you guys. I'll be on 4Nerds, and go catch their live stream. They're already started. Dave the Film Junkie is there. Go support them. I should probably be on in about an hour. But go and support them. They're a lot of fun. I was really thankful. You know, it's fun having them on. So thank you guys, and we'll see you next time. Hashtag staying with Ray Fisher. Ray Fisher's our cyborg. Restore the Snyderverse. All that good stuff. All right. Thanks, guys.